Hello, I haven't made a YouTube video in a while, and I got a pretty cool idea, I guess. We're gonna talk about my weirdest addiction, crackhead, meth head stories. So in my previous videos, I discussed that I was addicted to substances, primarily cocaine. I have tried heroin and I have tried meth. I actually did meth a few times, heroin only once, thank God. I've been clean from heroin and meth for 2 years. Yeah, 2 years in November, which is nice. And then I'll be clean from cocaine 4 months, on the 28th of December. So I'm very proud of myself. Addiction's like a really horrible thing. I know I'm gonna talk about something more serious, and then it'll get funny, I promise. It's a horrible thing. I did some crazy shit, spent a lot of money, and I miss it a lot, especially, obviously, cocaine. I talk about it a lot, and, like, there's some times where I still feel like I'm on cocaine. It's a really weird feeling, and, like, I see it, and, like, I don't get triggered, but I just, like, remember it. So anyway, that's kind of like what addiction is. It's a fight constantly. But yeah, so here we go into the story times. So, okay, I'm sitting down because I just immediately got, let's try this. Ooh. Better. Okay. So I guess we'll start off with heroin and we'll just make our way. So heroin, I only tried once. We snorted it. We kind of like smoked it. We made like an aluminum, so you get like aluminum foil. Okay, I'm not gonna explain how to do this actually, it's so bad. Let's just say that we smoked it. I got so itchy. Like, I had like an epidural thingy, more itchy than that. I mean, I was just like, it was so bad. And it didn't really taste bad, but it made me so itchy that I just never did it again. I will never try anything intravenously. I do well with needles. Obviously, I have tattoos, and I'm that psycho that, like, looks at the shot when I'm getting it, but I would never inject myself. So meth. I actually took a final in chemistry on meth and made, like, a 96. Like, I'm very functional on drugs, which is so bad. Well, functional, but academically I'm functional. And I actually OD'd once, almost like, they call it, like, my ex-husband called it like a mini stroke. I was like, you know how you see like the cop shit, it's kind of like what it was. But funny story ever. So higher than a bird's pussy. I mean, I am gone. So is my ex-husband at the time, who's also my child's dad. I mean, we are zooted. This is our second day on meth. I mean, we are gone. Obviously we snorted it, so it's not as potent as intravenous, but still. So I'm like and I already struggle with mental illness. I always have. And so when you do drugs when you're mentally ill, it kind of has weird effects. So I got it in my pea-sized head. I said, maybe I should like fake, like pretend like I have amnesia and like freak Gavin out. So we're sitting there and I pretend to like get knocked out. So I'm like, who are you? And he's like, Kirsty, stop. And I was like, no, I don't know who Kirsty, who am I? And he was freaking out. He was like, Kirsty, stop, where's my wife? Because we're married at this time. He's like, I want my wife back. I was like, I'm sorry, I don't know where she is. I said, I made up like some stupid name, I don't remember. I was like, I don't know where she is. He's like, you don't love me, I'm your husband, and like trying to convince me to like love him again. And he's like crying, like he's on like the couch, like balled up. He's like, I miss my wife, Kirsty, come Oh, it was so funny. I was dying. But I just couldn't stop. So I like took a shower. I came back out, like trying to give him a minute to like compose himself, and I was like, what's all this stuff? Do. And I was like looking through like photos on my phone. I was like, wow, Kirsty's really cute. I mean, oh, it was so bad. I mean, I felt so bad, but I mean, he was bawling. It was, oh, it was bad. It came to the point where he called his mom. I mean, he was like calling his mom. He's like, Mom, Kirsty, like, she like fell. Like, I think she like knocked herself out and she doesn't remember anything. His mom was like gabbing all her high. Just stop. And he's like, no, she's gone. I miss her. And at this point, I'm like, oh my god, I've taken this too far. At this point, it's been 4 hours, right? I'm like, oh my god, I'm taking this too far. And then he's like, don't touch me. You have to leave. I don't know who you are. And then I was like, so I like pretended to like pretend to be back to Kirsty. Oh, it was so bad. And then I was like, oh my god, Gavin, where did you go? He's like, oh, it's Kirsty. And I was like, oh, Gavin, I missed you. I'm so bad. He was like, don't ever leave me again. And that was the story. We have never talked about that since at all. So that was interesting. Another time on meth, I guess like a day before that, Gavin had like a little pistol, a lot of little, like a XD40, like a typical like police gun, I guess is the best way to put that. And we're like butt ass naked. Like we were always naked. Ugh, we were always naked. We were like an Adam and Eve all the time because we were high. We were hot all the time. So we're high on meth, and he's butt ass naked, balls out. You know, the ass crack is saying hello to the birds, and he takes his gun outside, and I was like, oh, whatever. And then I hear him load it, and I was like, oh no, like that TikTok, like, oh no, oh no. Oh, no. Yeah, that's exactly what happened through my head. So I'm butt-ass naked, too. So I sprint, my little chicken legs, or turkey, I don't know, I have really small legs, like little legs. I, like, run out the door. I actually hit the door first, and then run out the door. And I tackle him, because he's about to shoot himself. Yeah, that was traumatizing, but I can talk about it now, it's cool. I had to tackle him butt-ass naked. I was like, stop it! We're wrestling naked. I'm probably gonna stick up my asshole because we're in the middle of the yard. Our neighbors, I hope they didn't have cameras in the backyard because I'm like, oh my god, what the fuck is going on? So that was an experience. And then we did like a lot of like acid. I guess I talk about my acid experience while my one brain cell tries to figure out what cocaine story. I was on acid. I've only done acid once or twice. I think it was once. I took it and I didn't feel anything for a while, so I took another one because I'm stupid. And so I don't really remember the first part, but we and Gavin, we stared at the mirror, like at our reflection, for like 3 hours. I mean, I was just staring at the mirror for like 3 hours just laughing at myself. I thought it was the funniest shit. And at that point, I had a septum piercing, and I tried to pull it out. Like, he had to sit on me, because I was like, what's in my nose? Why is this in my... I mean, I was gone. So, I tried pulling that out. He sat on me. He's like, don't do that. And I was like, oh, no, I want to pull it out. Eventually, I had to take it out, and it closed up because of that experience, because I kept trying to pull it out all night. And then cocaine. God. I did it in my dorm. Like, I got fired from my job. Oh my god, this is so bad. But, I worked at a company. I'm not going to say names, but I worked at a company, and at this point we were really strong in our cocaine addiction. I mean, this was like our 6th day on cocaine. I was like, emaciated. I was emaciated and super skinny at this point, like, skinny queen, except I was a drug addict, so it didn't really count. So it was a plan. He was gonna sleep while I worked, and then during my lunch break, we were gonna meet up, and so he comes. I go to the dorm because he's still asleep, and I'm like, dude, I need the drugs. And he was like, no, let's meet you at work. So we go to my work, go to the bathroom. He goes in the women's bathroom. We don't even close the big stall door. We're just cutting up lines on the baby changing station. And we're just snorting them, like, just... And so I had to leave the clock in. Obviously, people know I'm high at this point, but I actually eventually got fired because of my drug addiction. And the lady catches him in the stall. But he didn't have any drugs. Obviously, he was doing his own lines. But that was weird. I'm sure I can think of another one. But that was a lot of it. Was just a lot of impulse decisions. Doing lines in my dorm. I mean, I have other drug experiences, but I don't really like to talk about them. But those are like my funniest moments. So, I'm not like other girls. I'm an addict. So anyway, I hope this was informative and funny. I try to make it funny. So, yeah.